Hello group, Jeff here. So this is the second of two videos on my Photoshop workflow using two of Matt's images, M16 and M20, that he graciously gave me to perform these posting tutorials. So I'm going to open up M20. And the reason why I like these two images is they're almost exact opposites as far as what is in the image. On the M16 image, it's a lot of reds and blacks, and in the M20 image, we have blues, pinks, some reds. We've got some blacks. We've got all kinds of stuff happening, and that poses different problems. So the first thing we want to do is to correct for the drift. So we're going to just do a little bit of a crop to get rid of that black border at the bottom, because that affects your posting. So we'll crop that out. We'll convert the image to 16-bit. We'll duplicate the layer and we'll do a denoise. As I mentioned in the last video, I'm now doing my noise removal early in the flow because it seems to help the post later in the flow. And you can see that right here on page 2. Apply as early as possible. And that's what we're doing. So I like to click on the auto detect. And you can see that because there's hardly any noise in this, it's not removing a lot of noise. So I'll just up this one more. I'll up the sharpening. I'm liking where this is going. I'm going to recover some of the original image back. Not a lot, just a little. I'm going to turn on the low light mode. Seems to help. And the color noise reduction is going to 6.16. Come on, baby. And I'll approve this. Apply it, I should say. So the next thing we want to do is astroflats. And astroflats as of the end of May has changed how some of the settings worked, or not necessarily changed them, but they now work differently. So it used to be the defaults were 20-20-20. And I was more liking 24-24-24. And as you can see, I'm at 40, 24, and 16. So that's quite a change for something that is supposed to remove gradients and flatten the image. And the biggest change was in smoothness. I now use settings, slider settings of between 32 and 48. And I kind of think 40 is the happy medium here, but you can figure that out for yourself. The edge cleanup, I like 24. And the dark noise you want to really be careful of. That will do stuff that you don't like. So I'm at 16 on the dark noise, and this image is clean. Matt did a really good job on these two images with his 432 and the RC10 of his. Wonderful job. So we'll apply, and you can see that we removed the hotspot in the center of this image, and we've also flattened the image. And you can see that by looking at the histogram. We've kind of de-stretched the histogram. So I'm really liking where this is going. This is going to allow us to really get some of this fine gas that's out here that we couldn't have gotten with this. And I've been asked that on certain images, it would appear as though astroflats is brightening the image. That can sometimes be the case if you have a lot of gas, nebula gas in the image. It will kind of it will brighten, it appears to brighten the whole image, but when you do a level to color correct, it takes that brightness away. It's just leveling out the image left to right, up and down. So now what I'm going to run is my Clear Skies 3. And you can see what it did. I'll just click back and forth. Really helped. I'm going to add a layer called Deep Sky Object Enhance. And I'm going to run this action. And this will help reduce the size of the stars. In fact, that's what it did right there. So it's now reduced the size of the stars. It's also, you can start to see some of the gas coming out. And that's the blue, and up in here the reds. Very nice. So now we'll do a level. And the level is mainly to color correct. And if you remember, I used to use the gray eyedropper and try and find someplace black to do it. I now use the RGBs, and I just check to make sure that and I can see that the blue is a little off. So what we'll do is we'll pull these sliders, just the black, to say 8, red, to maybe there, and the blue has to come a long ways. To like there. So now I go back to RGB and I pull in the white to like 240. That's it. Because if I go more than that, I start making my stars big again, and I don't want to make my stars big again. So we'll say okay to that, and we'll go and make a duplicate layer and call it curves. And then we'll go image, adjust, curves. And I like to anchor at 190, 190. And what that'll do is lock the star size in. If that anchor wasn't there and I did this, the stars would grow. And you can see that the stars they got brighter, but they didn't grow. So I'll bring this down because I don't want quite that much to maybe in here. Now I'll start with a sharp, oh, sorry. Let me do another duplicate layer, and we'll call this Vibrance. We'll add some Vibrance. And that will get some of the color back into the image. And you can see up in here, we've now got some blue. The blue gas is starting to show up again. So I'm liking that, and I'm going to make 3 layers, empty layers, called Loom Red, Loom Green, and blue. And I'm going to go down to Vibrance, open up my channels. I'm going to look at all of these. We're going to use these channels as luminance layers. So I'm going to select all and copy. And in the red, I'm going to make sure I'm in the red, and I'm going to paste this. I'm going to go back down to Vibrance, go to Channels, go to the green layer. I'm going to select all, copy, go to the green, paste, go back down to Vibrance, Channels, blue, select all, copy, and in the blue layer, paste the blue channel. So now you can see that we've really done wonderful things to the image. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to go to the red luminance layer. I'm going to select the new mode is a luminosity mode, and you can see what that's done. But it's too much. So how we fix that is we bring down the opacity to 33%. You could use any number, but I'm kind of happy with 33%. Now in the green, we're going to do the same thing. Make it 33%. I'm going to do the same thing with the Now you can make these numbers whatever you're comfortable with, but if you look at 33, 33, and 33, that's almost 100%. So we've got a little bit of each channel using that data to brighten the image. And what you can see is all the gas that is now in the image that wasn't there before. So I could take this data, I can take and merge this down because I'm happy with where it went. So I can merge this down. Merge that down. And now I've merged it all into the vibrance layer. I'm going to make a new layer called high pass. And what this high pass layer will do is it will look at the blacks. And you can see as I move the slider, you want to move the slider until you're just grabbing the black. So I'm kind of partial to 16. And it's done terrible things to the image, but that's because we haven't changed the mode and we want to make it an overlay. And you can see that we've affected the blacks in the image and the blacks only. So that's obviously too much. We can pull that down to 33%. And I would call this image, let's merge it down so that I can do what I got to do here. So this was before, and this is after. This was before, and this is after. This was before, and this is after. Using Topaz denoise early, astroflats with the changes, the sharpen that I didn't use because this image would have been adversely affected because of the gas. The sharpen doesn't like the gas, so I didn't do it. And some of my actions, Clear Sky 3, Deep Sky Enhance, levels, a curve, and some vibrance. We've really brought a lot of detail into this image that it didn't have before when it was here. It was a good starting place, This is a great image for post-processing. There's nothing in it that's blown out. Even the core looks great. Might be a little hot, but it's a great image for post-processing because the data is here. You just have to learn how to pull that data out. So I hope that using two of Matt's images, thank you, Matt, appreciate it, the group can learn some new techniques. This is kind of what I do to any of my images anymore. I first shoot to get as clean as I can an image, whether that takes 30 seconds at f5 or, I'm sorry, f11. It takes 30 seconds to get a clean image. And that's me. I'm in no hurry. I'm not going anywhere yet anyways. So I hope you guys and gals learned some new stuff. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. We'll see you in the group. Thanks.